here we are in these strange times. And one of the questions that come to my mind, if this is good times to release a new record with no chance of playing live and other factors. I guess that could be something to talk between a band and labels.
Yes. Yeah, of course. I mean, the labels are trying to release the music on CDs and, of course, other platforms nowadays, as we all know. And that's why we still released it, because it's possible, you know. So people are not even going to shops anymore. They download it, purchase it, of course, and in a legal way. And they also maybe order on some EMP or Amazon, whatever you have. I don't want to make any advertising for any platform, but you can easily deliver the stuff to your house. And we decided, because the music was finished in January, so there was no pandemic, not at all at the time. And we were just really ready to release all the stuff, and we were keen to release it. The only thing what happened in terms of pandemic situation was we could not somehow bring Magnus in for the videos we were supposed to release. So that was a bummer. And we also did some photos which is a little bit of a compromise, because we were not able to come together, you know. So that's in the end the only compromise we did. But in terms of music, everything was ready before that. And so we were ready to go out, and we had to go out in the end.
Mm-hmm. That's one of my questions, because I would like to ask about if the music was rather before or after the pandemic, because we all know that the labels, the release plan of the labels, it's with some months forward, and nowadays nobody knows what happens in 4-5 months.
Sure.
And now it's incredible that thinking that when you really finish the job of the recording, that in 6 months we are in the middle of these strange times, I have to say.
Yeah, things go quick sometimes, unfortunately. Yes. So let's hope that everything will be going back to normal in 2021, because we are, maybe that's also the next question. We are already scheduling with our booking management for 2021. As you saw a few days ago, we released the Spanish date as well, the dates. And so we had to postpone everything. Yeah, so like I said, it was a bummer, but, you know, let's stay positive, because everything will turn out well, and we are able to release music still. It's not forbidden, right? It's no lockdown of music. Music is always there. You can always listen to it on CDs and everything. So in the end, we are glad to have this platform and this media of CDs and, of course, download platforms, whatever you use in the end.
You mentioned an interesting questions, because in the last times we were discussing with a lot of musicians here in our radio show about this. About the fact that independently of the pandemic thing, when a band finished the job of recording, composing, etc., until this CD, this music released to the fans, pass 3, 4, 5, 6 months, and it's a lot. And maybe the musicians forgot about some things, and now I have to recover the songs. Maybe for you it's if it's the correct word, past, and for the people it's present.
It's true. It's exactly true what you say. But whenever you record everything, and when everything is mixed and mastered, you cannot change something in music. So you have to take care of the job you do before, right? But coming back, I mean, of course, those songs are for us 1 year old now, which are just released. You know, the first song I sung last year in April, May. And yeah, for us, it's old, but it's great to release the music, to bring it to the fans, of course, first to the press, who are giving us a great feedback, and we're really happy about this. And now also the fans, and that's just a great reward for all the work we put into the composing, writing, recording, mixing. You know, it's a lot of work, and costs also not only money, also a lot of energy, which is a great work. It's a pleasure to work for the music. And in the end, it's a great reward if people like it and having the same feeling about the music we have. it's a good sign, you know. It's a good sign that we're on a good path with all the members, with all the writing members and everything. Also, all the team with Nuclear Blast and so forth. It's exactly the right moment right now to do this.
And actually, I see a couple of examples of bands that first, or maybe it's more a label thing, and I guess in Nuclear Blast certainly, I think Destruction have done this of a release first digital version, and 1 month later, physical format. Maybe this will be one of the future to release music.
Who knows? The thing is, we're still open and we're still really positive in terms of playing live again. And streaming shit, I mean, of course, I understand colleagues who are doing it, but it's got nothing to do. And those guys who are doing, I'm doing the Gamma Ray show, as you know, in 2 weeks, a live streaming show, because I'm invited as a guest musician after 30 years of Gamma Ray, and I was, as you know, a key factor of Gamma Ray. And that's why I do it, because I do music again with my colleagues and I love to do it. But there's no interaction with fans. So I don't think this is going to happen for Primal Fear in the end, because live heavy metal is live music with fans. And that's exactly what we will not do. We will not do streaming shows or cinema shows, car cinema shows, whatever. I mean, never say never, but, you know, let's just hope that everything will be back to normal in 2021.
I understand. I can say I think that I can understand perfectly because we're both old school guys. I suppose, like me, you love see these vinyls, live shows like we know always, and
Yeah,
it's very strange now this digital world, and now the drive-in shows.
yeah.
It's very difficult. And you mentioned, and obviously I have to ask about this show with the Gamma Ray, because a lot of people still remember your years in Gamma Ray, and it's a pity. I don't know if it's the correct word, but it's a pity that happens in a virtual way without the fans in front of you.
Yeah, but there's no other chance. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
at least there is something, right? So I have both sides. Like I said before, I hate it, but I also love it, because to make music with my fellow musicians from back in the days, and we're still good friends. I mean, I was together with them in 2014 when they invited me in the Munich show, and I did this song, and the other day did two songs. So that was a great thing, and we want to repeat that. If it's possible to do it on a streaming show, we will find out. But it's just being like together in a rehearsing studio and having a good time. And there's going to be no conversation with the people, because there are no people, and that's going to be a new experience for me as well. So we will see what happens.
I remember a friend saying me a couple of days ago, "Oh man, I imagine a show like that, Gamma Ray with Ralf Scheepers celebrating 30 years in Bakken,
Yeah,
not in my computer."
yeah, that's true. I have the same feeling. Everybody has the same feeling about it, and I know the Gamma Ray guys as well. But let's take what we have, okay? So in the end, that's the possibility. That's our chance, and maybe we will repeat it again. Who knows? Maybe we repeat it 2021 if Kai is not too busy with Halloween. Maybe this is going to happen again on a real audience show.
Mhm. Okay, new music, Metal Comando.
Yeah,
Talking about the new album, I have to say, my opinion is much better. I enjoy a lot than the previous releases. Sounds great and contains, in my opinion, future classics of the band. I think. What's your feeling about this new music right now?
I have the same feeling. I'm really proud, and I'm also proud of the team and everybody involved. No matter if it's writing or playing on the album, everybody did a fantastic job, starting from the first beat of the bass drum to the last note of the guitar solos, and maybe also my singing. But so everybody's really proud, and we never approach something when we write a new album. Oh, we have to do this or that, because we don't put ourselves too much under pressure, because we're loving what we're doing, right? So we are somehow heavy metal fans still, but now we're pro musicians too. So we somehow have this energy and the feeling, a very true energy and a very true feeling into the music. And this chemistry is somehow really working, and we have a great feeling about it. So yeah, Metal Commando is exactly what we thought it should sound like, and now it's there, and we're really happy.
Um, to mention three of my favorite songs are Halo, I Will Be Gone, and Infinity. And I think this could be the surprises for the fans. I think that these songs expands Primal Fear musical horizons. I agree.
Absolutely agree. So you have to also somehow still, even if you are having your own style, you still have a lot of progress in the music. And it's everything is a growing process. We're still maturing somehow, and you never stop learning in your life until you fall dead. So that's our goal also in music. We also want to experience new stuff, but not somehow in totally different sectors. Maybe in our own sector, but in certain other spheres where we still have this convenient feeling of being honest in what we do.
And especially in a song of 30 minutes, because when I say that all the songs of the album, last one, 30 minutes. Go, come on. This is a risk because a 30-minute song could be, I don't know, boring or it's very difficult.
But in
And
the end, if you listen to the song, it's not getting boring. It's like when
no,
you think,
no.
what? This was 13 minutes. I can't believe it because it's very, very interesting during the whole song.
It's like the old classics, like you mentioned Halloween, like the Keepers and all these kind of things of 10, 13, 15 minutes that from the first to the last note,
Yeah.
it's uh, wonderful,
Thank you very much.
wonderful,
And this is really,
wonderful.
this is Matt and Magnus. They really were working on this song like crazy. It's a masterpiece for me as well. So I was listening to it the first time and said, wow, I know what to do here and there in terms of expression and feeling and so forth. That was really an amazing piece of music when they first delivered the demos to me. It was just great.
I suppose all the journalists are asking a lot about this song.
True. Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about the recording process, about how do you work this time
Absolutely.
for this album?
Absolutely. So we were met, Jacob Hansen and Michael Ere, our new drummers, sat together in Denmark and put together the drums. The demos were already there, so the drummer knew what he has to do, and he also put his ideas, of course, during the recording process together in a teamwork with Matt and Jacob. So they did a great job in setting the basements of everything, right? And everything else was speaking about myself in terms of vocals. I already had demos. When you have tempos of the demos, you can already record the vocals, and that's a great way to work for me. This is the big difference to 20 years ago when you had to be in the studio singing like 10, 13 songs in about 5, 6 days. So now I had the time of 4 or 5 months, which is really a luxury for me as well. And that's why that's why it sounds like it sounds, because I really have the time and to sit back and rehearse a lot, try sounds. And I'm recording this here in my studio alone. And of course, I send the feedback back and forth to Matt because he's the producer in the end, and he this way of working together. We did that many albums now, and it works well. So that's how also it worked with the guitars. Magnus recorded his guitars in his studio, and the other guys like Tom and Alex, they recorded their guitars in Kempten, where our front of house engineer Sebastian Röder has his studio, and we recorded the guitars there in terms of solo. Set together everything digital again in Denmark, mixed with our great Jacob Hansen. He's absolutely knowing what we want to sound like, because we don't even have to give him examples anymore, because he knows how our music should sound like. And we're really happy when we go there, mix the album. It's just going quick because he totally understands our music and he totally knows how we want to sound like. So that's how we work basically over the years now.
I was thinking that the digital wall in some ways sucks, but on the other hand, for example, for the recording and the working, because everybody today can have their own studios or an audio interface to
That's true.
record some. This is amazing.
And what I do, I did this many years ago when there was the copy paste era. I
Yeah.
had I have done this too. I'm very honest, but now I'm way back again to sing everything original again, because it's the music is living more. It can still live when you do the digital stuff. It can still live if you're doing not so much copy paste and fuck autotune or whatever. I mean, we are the generation, we know how to record everything properly because we recorded on tape machines, right?
Yeah.
So we still can do this also on digital if we are just being focused and concentrated in our work.
I'm afraid about what can happen in 20 years.
Maybe we don't need vocalists anymore. You don't need drummers because we have drum machines, and maybe there's one day a computer will sing "Metal is Forever" or whatever.
Wow, wow,
Who
wow.
knows?
A couple of days ago appears the first chart, and it was a surprise that appears Spain. It's not usual that
Yeah.
this happens. Suppose you're very happy about
Oh,
that.
we are really happy. Also about every country in Europe and also in America. So that's really a good sign, and we're really, really happy. And I want to thank the people also in Spain, of course, for that, because that's showing a lot of faith and a lot of support for the band, and we're all really happy about this.
And I have to say, as I mentioned, it's not very usual that an heavy metal European band appears on the charts in Spain.
Thank you.
Not
That's great.
very usual.
Really great.
Uh, and that we mentioned previously, of course, nowadays touring represents the most part of money income, and now that's gone with this COVID-19 restriction. I think a lot of people forget that this is a really big industry that goes well beyond just the bands on the stage, since it's also included people working at the venues, promoters, caterers, drivers, roadies. It's a huge financial toll for all of these people, but also an emotional toll, since there is a lot of uncertainty.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And even through there's hope in the horizon, because here in Europe it's more or less controlled. But all this uncertainty, I don't know the musicians how can live with this, because people who have a regular job, but in the case of all these people, I talk with people here, promoters, for example, that right now change their job because
Yeah.
it's impossible.
We went from 100% zero in terms of life, but
Yeah,
when you are a musician, it was never easy. Even before the pandemic, it's always not easy. So you have a little bit of your second floor or your backups in terms of I'm teaching vocals, for instance. I'm also singing in the studio for different other projects and bands once in a while. That's what I also offer. So and you have a little bit of your backings, what you have sometimes. But if you're only playing live, it's really tough. It's really tough, and we just hope that the industry will be back and will be healthy again, because so many promoters and concert halls are gonna die of that, because there is simply no chance at all at the moment to cover all the costs they have, so they have to quit. And that's a big bummer. That's a big bummer. So let's just hope and cross fingers that everything will be back to normal in 2021. We have to schedule, Albert, because in the end, you have to offer new dates, even if you don't know if it's happening or not. So in these times, booking a tour is very, very difficult for everybody involved. So we sometimes also ask for patience to the fans as well. If their country or their city is not shown in the list so far, we are working on solutions, because it's not easy these days.
I agree. I agree. And speaking of jobs, as you mentioned, you actually are doing not only a singer, you're also a vocal coach. Um, I don't know what's happening in your world with all the people that you're working in the vocal teach, because my impression here, because I'm also working as a my main occupation also is working as a teacher. I'm working with people from 16 to 22,
Uh-huh.
and my impression is that the interest for music, not metal music, real music, playing with instruments, singing,
Mm-hmm.
it's not very usual. Are a lot interested in electronics,
Yeah.
the reggaeton, and this kind of things.
Yeah.
Do you feel that there's interest still to sing, to play instruments in your world? Maybe it changes in different countries.
Yes, in terms of singing, you have to be the singer, because you're, as a human being, there's singing is human, right? So if there's an instrument, I see it's a generation. I wouldn't consider it as a problem, but it's a generation thing. which is not best development in my opinion. Because if there, I mean, I remember guitars sitting in the rehearsing studio for 10 to 15 hours working on the guitar at home and practicing. And this is the real human craftsmanship of playing, right? So I hope that the generations will come back doing this, because there will be a huge hole and a big black hole if this is not existing anymore, right?
Maybe there's hope. We
Yeah,
have to recover people and live shows.
yeah, true, true.
Okay, Ralph, I guess you have more interviews right now.
Yeah, it's it's
That,
it's all good. I will tell him it's a delay, no problem.
okay, thank you. Thank you for your understanding with all these
Hey,
problems.
it's technical stuff. It's generation problems.
Just if you want to say something more to all the people that will listen or see
Yeah,
you on YouTube, because nowadays
yeah.
we don't know how people can get our words in YouTube, radio, lots of things.
I just repeat myself once again. Thank you very much for your support and helping us to have the success we have now with Metal Commando. And on behalf of the entire band, thanks. We will be back. Keep the faith and stay healthy. I mean, it's a lot of phrases here, but it's true. You just hang in there. In 2021, it's a totally different picture, and we see each other. Okay.
Okay. Thanks for your time. Hope to see you playing here very soon. In my case, in Barcelona.
Thank you very much. Barcelona is great. We always love to be there.
Thank you, man.
You take care, Albert. Bye bye.
Well, bye bye. Bye bye.